All right, it's time for the recap. Week 2 in the books. Time to talk about it. Take that. All right, let's start with the Nail Nibbler of the Week. The Nail Nibbler of the Week, actually, this week was pretty nibbly. And we had Lance Kendricks of the St. Louis Rams, who had a chance to be a true garbage time hero. But he wasn't, because he sucks. And here's why I say that. Tommy was down by a mere 2 points. Going into last night's Monday night classic battle between the Rams and the Giants. You know, that storied rivalry just goes back years of not playing each other. So anyway, Lance Kendrick only needed 3 points to win for the Jolly Rogers and defeat Zap, Boff, Kapow, and deal them out a piece of their own, a bit of their own cartoony medicine. But because he sucks, he could not. He only got 2.6 points. However, during garbage time, when the Rams had more or less already lost, and let's be honest, they know all about that situation, he had a pass that slipped through his greasy fingers that would have gotten him 18 or 19 yards and won the game. And he could have been this week's garbage time hero, but he wasn't because he sucks. Anyway, the Jolly Rogers 123.6 and Zap, Boff, Kapow 124.8 on the strength of Phillip Rivers, 45 points, as well as 20 from Michael Turner, 12 from Neon Dion Branch. Actually, he's not Neon Dion. He's the opposite of Neon Dion. He's like, I don't know, like Plaid Dion, which is really not the same. 15 from Adam Vinatieri. How about that? Meanwhile, over on the Jolly Rogers side, Michael Vick gets 32 points and a concussion. Drew, we need a ruling. What's the number of points you get for a concussion? Because if there's points for that, then, you know, Vic's going to roll it up. All right, Miles Austin, 32. A man, the $6 million man. That's my new name for him, $6 million man. That's funny. Let's see. And 12 from Aaron Hernandez, a fine young Patriots tight end. But it's not enough. Well, yeah. And they lose. And that was the Nail Nibbler of the Week. Zap, Boff, Kapow. Once again, Tommy has one-man chatter happening. One man smack talk. And he loses. And he goes to 1-1. Zap, Boff, Kapow goes to 2-0. All right, Whomping of the Week. Bad examples against Rough the Passer. Bad examples. This is a crazy rate of scoring, which undoubtedly will not be sustained, mostly on the strength of every player on the team, pretty much, but even more mostly on the strength of Brady, who once again had, he had 60 points this week, and I think it was 70 last week, so that's ridiculous, as the Patriots more or less dismantle the Chargers. They didn't completely, they're still mantled a little bit. Stevie Johnson, 15 points from Harvard man Ryan Fitzpatrick. Kenny Britt, who's that? 20 points. Peyton Hillis, 20 points. Javed Best, 24 points. The hits go on and on. Over on the Rough the Passer side, it wasn't a bad day at the office. Matthew Stafford, I came up with a nickname for him. The Staff Infection. Staff Infection with 51 points. The Lions are for real, folks. I've never said these words before unless I was telling my daughter to keep her hands out of the cage at the zoo. The Lions are for real. That's the only other time I've said that. 13 for Brandon Marshall, 23 for LaShawn McCoy. And then a kind of a little bit of a, 0.7 from Brandon Pettigrew. He sounds like, one of these, I'm Brandon Pettigrew, a southern gentleman. How dare you insult me, sir? And 2 from the San Diego defense. At least he got the 2, not just 1. 121 to 179. It's a Whomping of the Week, not so much because Rough the Passer didn't have a decent day, but because bad examples are still on fire for some crazy reason. All right, smell this. Speaking of being on fire, when we say smell this is on fire, nothing comes to mind so much as the thing where you light a bag of poo and put it on your neighbor's doorstep. And that is what smell this is the equivalent of right now. 2-0. 130 points to Jamarcus's Bentley's 112. 44 from the mighty Aaron of Rogers. Hakeem Nicks got 7 points and I think it's a concussion or a ligament tear. I don't know. Dwayne Dang Bowe, 11 points. 16 from Matt. Why do you assume that football is my forte? Mike Tolbert, who got 6 points and a beating from the Patriots defense on multiple levels. And A.J. Green, a Bengal, getting points. But 130 is pretty decent, and then you go over to the other side, and you got Cool Breeze gets 45 points for Jamarcus Bentley. Deshaun Jackson did not have a Deshaun Jackson-like day, just 2.1 points. But he did better than Patrick Suckhouse Creighton, who got 0 for the San Diego Chargers. You see a theme there with the Chargers. Now, let me tell you something about Darren McFadden. Don't assume that just because he's on the Raiders, he sucks, because he really doesn't. He's actually quite good. 24 points. I mean, it's like a little truck is coming down the field, and you just see him go and knock guys out of the way. But when you got LaDainian Tomlinson and Vernon Davis with 1.5, 1.8, Donald Baby Driver with 1 point, it ain't going to do it pretty much. New York Giants defense did what it could, and 112 points was the total. Smell this goes to 2-0, and Jamarcus Bentley drops to 0-2. All right. Ghetto Superstar putting up major points on the board this week, 174.1 with Tony Romo, who got 46 points and a punctured lung. That's a tough guy. Let's just stop and reflect for a moment on how tough he is. Tough guy. 46 points, 29 for Vincent Jackson on the Chargers. And so he's breaking he's the exception that proves the rule, is what I'm saying. 4 for Anquan Bolden, 26 for AD, all day, Adrian Peterson. Fred Jackson with 26, all day, Fred Jackson. And it adds up, and you got 14 from John Casey from New Orleans, 11 for the Dallas defense. You've got some big numbers in there. And it adds up to 174.1, and it was too much for Smack Attack 1. I don't even think Smack Attack 2 could have handled this. Matty Dry with 40 points in their win over in the Bird Bowl against the Eagles. Larry Hot Sauce Fitzgerald, I just made that up right now. I don't like it. With 19 points. 0.00 Mr. Blutarski. Steven Jackson with 0.00. Jamal Charles got 2.7 points and a destroyed knee from the Detroit mascot. That's a true story. Ran into the Detroit Lions are so tough now that even the mascot is putting Jamal Charles out for the season. Jason Witten with 10, 12 for Santana. So smooth, Santana Moss. And 20 from the Pittsburgh defense as they basically just pushed Seattle through a wood chipper. But it was only 120 points, and Ghetto Superstar wins, and they go to 1-1. Smack Attack 1 drops to 0-2. We'll need a bounce back victory next week. All right. DeBiz against the Revolution. The Revolution will be in high def. However, they will not be defeated this week. Matt, any car, any color for $99. Schaub with $35. Andre Mr. Softy Johnson, I don't know, 15 points for him. Ahmad Bradshaw with 10 from Tim Hightower, 14 from Fred Davis. Just good points across the board. The Detroit defense is 24. How about that? James Ironman Starks, 11.5. DeBiz, on the other hand, had a little bit of a light day with such luminaries as Brandon Lloyd getting him 0 points. On the other hand, he got 20 from Tony Gonzalez, 10 from MJD, 16 from Devery Henderson, but only 21 from Joe Seiler Flacco. And it adds up to 102, and if I remember my math correctly, 149 is greater than 102. So the Revolution wins, goes to 1-1. DeBiz loses and drops to 0-2. DeBiz did want to say to the Revolution, however, that the Cowboys rule the Revolution's face. I don't know what that means. Sounds a little not safe for work. All right. We talked about the Jolly Rogers. Last game of the week was tight as well. It was the Ferocious Finnick against Brutta Is. Ferocious Finnick coming in 0-1. Brutta Is coming in at 1-0. Ben Assault on the Helpless Roethlisberger got 36 points. And Jeremy Macklin of the Eagles got 29 big points. Sean Green with 11. Santonio Holmes. Oh, Gronkowski, fine young player for the Patriots, 20 points. Frank, most likely to resemble a long-term maximum security prisoner award winner, Frank Gore with 12 points, and the Green Bay defense with 15. It adds up to 147. However, Brutta Is had a chance because Calvin Big Dog Megatron Johnson had 14, Mike Wallace had 18, Richard Mendenhall 13, Beanie Wells. I always just picture him with a propeller, just like with 15. However, Mike Williams from Tampa Bay brought shame to his family with a -4, shame bringing, and 22 from the Jets defense, of which we will not speak. And it all came down to Eli Manning. He needed about 40 points to beat the Fennec. And it was looking good. By halftime, I think he had about 20, so it was in there. But the second half did not. They won, but from a points point of view, didn't quite get there. 28 points. I know that there was edge of seat sitting, and that's how it went. So anyway, that's how it went last week. I just want to do a quick recap on the standings. There are 3 undefeated teams left, and there are 3 teams that have not yet won. 3 undefeated teams in División del Norte. Smell this and zap, boff, kapow. And at the moment, Bad Example stands alone atop División del Sur. 3 teams have not won yet. DeMarcus's Bentley, Smart Attack won, and Dabiz. However, there's a lot of football left to play. Let's see. Next week. What have we got? I'm trying to see if there's anybody with a matchup that'll make somebody undefeated. No, the other team, they could all keep going. They could all keep. The 3 undefeated teams could continue to do that. They're not pitted against each other. Let's see, real quick scan for rivalries. Don't see any. Normal sort of week. All right. Okay. That's it. Have a good week. Talk to you then. Bye.